Hello viewers, I just want to preface everything I'm about to say with the knowledge that I am only a casual viewer and reader of One Piece. In that, over the years I've dipped in and out of reading volumes of the manga I've come across, watching episodes either on TV or streaming them. But the fact is that the sheer amount of content there is to get through if you came into it late just has proven very daunting. So, if you happen to disagree with anything I say in my review, because you're more of a hardcore fan, I must defer to your superior knowledge of the subject matter. That being said, I just finished episode 3 of Netflix's live-action One Piece, and I have to ask, why couldn't they have brought this type of effort to bear on any of their other live-action adaptations of anime and manga? I mean it. It's insane. Because if there was one thing I was sure was going to be a disaster, it was live-action One Piece. I mean, come on. This is the most cartoony, this is probably the most cartoony and cartoony manga there is. All the designs are clearly based on what the creator thinks will be, what the creator wanted to be fun, and you know, yeah, things like Gumby, the clown pirate, you have Luffy, and you would think those would be impossible to pull off. I mean, this is a studio that just, was it last year or the year before, screwed up Cowboy Bebop, which may be the single most accessible anime of all time, so badly that it got canceled a week after it premiered. But this, so far from the first 3 episodes, they got it right. This deserves to be a hit. I mean, even if this wasn't tied into something pre-existing, I would be enjoying this. But they don't just capture the look of the material and capture it very well. Like, for instance, even Luffy's arms in fight scenes are convincing, which is really strange since for all the money that's been invested in them, I have yet to see Mr. Fantastic look at all good in any of the feature films of the Fantastic Four. So it's really odd that they were able to get this right, but it does. It looks really, really good. The fight scenes are well choreographed, and it just looks like One Piece, and it feels like One Piece. And that's the other thing, is they got the writing right. There's none of that diversity and inclusion garbage. Like, it's just the story, and it's just a fun story, and they've done a great job capturing the essence of the characters in both how they write it and the actors who they have performing it, who seem to actually like the characters they're playing. I know this all sounds like I'm damning it with faint praise, but this is one of my most enjoyable viewing experiences of the year so far. I mean, it's right up there with Zom 100, Spy Family, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning for things that I've sat down, watched, and enjoyed. I mean, this is so enjoyable, I don't want it to end, and even though all 8 episodes drop today, I'll probably be watching them sparingly, not because I'm losing interest, but because I want to spread out the viewing experience and not just consume it all in one big gulp, which for a TV show is a very big compliment. And the way they've set about adapting it could actually be seen as a bit of an improvement on the anime. As I said, the amount of material there is to consume in this franchise is somewhat daunting, and that's what's kept me from getting up to speed with the franchise, despite the fact that I do enjoy both the manga and anime. Well, here's the thing. If you thought the pacing was slow and things took forever to happen in like Dragon Ball or say Inuyasha or anything like that, you haven't seen anything till you've seen One Piece. There's just so many episodes. But what they seem to have done here, is each episode sort of feels like its own movie, its own like 50 to 70 minute movie, which back in the day used to be feature length, that condenses an arc from the manga and anime down to just one movie, and then they just have character arcs and the ongoing arc of looking for a treasure as their hooks in. It's not one of those things where each episode feels like a small chapter and you have to watch it all at once, or and you have to clear out like 12 hours of your time to watch it all at once because it's a movie that just happens to be. No, each episode feels like its own thing, except for episode 3, which has a more direct cliffhanger into episode 4. But they each feel like their own individual adventure that is just hung together by these very likable characters, and I can't say enough good things about the actor playing Luffy. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to pull off this character without it coming off as goofy and annoying, but this young actor, he has charisma, he does a good job playing all the aspects of the character, and he's just one of the most likable protagonists I've seen in a long time, and it is his show. When I said this doesn't have any diversity and inclusion nonsense, I meant it doesn't have Luffy being the supporting character in what is supposed to be his story. That's what I mean by because I don't have a problem with diversity. After all, Cisco is my favorite Star Trek captain. He has been since I was a kid. But it's like my problem is when they use it, when they take an existing franchise and they reduce the person who has always been the main character to like a supporting role because, oh no, and then he becomes incompetent or something. And it's like, nah. And as I said, I don't want to give anything away because this is so enjoyable. I really hope people will watch it because I want Netflix to take the right message away from this. And the producer said that they were trying to be as faithful as possible to the source material. And this is an adaptation. Don't get me wrong, there are differences, but they're the type of differences that you saw in, say, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, where the differences are there just to make it flow better in the medium that the story is being reinterpreted for. It's not being done just to stroke somebody's ego or to make their OC look better, or something. It's like all the baggage from everything. How this movie feels like this series feels like it ejects all the baggage from the past, like 12 to 15 years of Hollywood making movies, and it's just refreshing. It's just a fun adventure tale with lots of exciting scenes, and it has what I think is very important for any ongoing series of films or TV shows. It has a likable cast of characters who have good chemistry with each other, and yes, if you have any interest in, say, swashbuckling adventure, or you're a fan of One Piece, I think you're going to enjoy this. So, Yeah, I never thought I'd be saying this about a Netflix anime series, but please tune in. I want this to get better ratings than something like Cowboy Bebop or Full Metal Alchemist or something, so that Netflix takes the right message away, since they have other live-action anime adaptations that they've announced that are going to be coming out in the next few years. Please watch this so that it gets significantly better ratings and Netflix gets the message that be faithful and respectful to the source material and make an enjoyable show, and fans will overlook a few changes to make adaptation work. And yeah, I have to say, I just want to say one last thing. I applaud the production team for having the guts to go with the sillier designs of the characters to make them more look as much like the manga as you can get real characters looking in both the costumes, makeup. They could have easily gone the way of every other anime to live action adaptation I've seen, but they didn't. So hats off to them, and let me know what you think of this. And am I giving it too much praise? Is it? If you're a longtime One Piece fan, are you enjoying it? Are you going to watch it? Just whatever. So anyway, I thank you for watching, and have a good